Whoa, what? Hello, everyone. Welcome to a Mere Mortals Meanderings.
Welcome back, folks. Welcome back.
This is Juan speaking on the other side of the mic. You got Karen here, bucket hat, Colombian shirted up.
Yep.
We're going to be talking about some random topics today. I have a little decompression from my Airlie trip. Sorry, not Airlie trip. North Stradbroke trip.
Okay.
Yeah. Haven't been to Airlie yet, people. That's next week. And I should mention that right now. We're doing this recording, a pre-recording.
That's right.
So we pre-record usually by 5 days, 7 days. But unfortunately, when this one comes out or just afterwards, we'll be actually going to Airlie Beach. We're having a little breakaway, but do not worry, the Mere Mortals content is still coming. Unfortunately, yes, it's not going to be super in the present, super in the moment. So, any case, that's that. We want to talk about Squid Game as well.
Okay, Squid Game.
Yeah.
Tell me about Squid Game.
I heard something disgusting last night.
What did you hear?
I heard something disgusting, and it was almost made me retch. You were listening to a dub of Squid Game.
Correct. Yeah. Dude,
mate.
Which way are you listening to it right now? Dub or sub?
Gotta go subtitles.
Okay. Why?
I hate dubs. I hate even the anime ones where they can sort of just change the mouth movements and make it into English. I feel it loses it, man. I feel it loses the character, the appearance between the character and what the artist had in mind for the voice of that person.
Yep.
I'm just not a fan of dubs at all on language shows. So this is like real TV, live TV, actual people acting and whatnot, and animated. So let's why are you watching the dub? Why?
Oh, just easier.
Just easier.
I normally just like just reading the bottom of it and like the actual link, like having the words come up and actually having to read that. And I'm like, meh, that's kind of boring. Why would I do that? I'm just going to listen to it in English. I do see, and specifically with Squid Game, some people say like, oh, you're missing out on all these things, la la la. To be honest, the way I've been watching Squid Game, I've been kind of like fast forwarding through like 10 seconds to just like the key moment of watching it as well. So I'm just kind of like, oh yeah, there's a lot of this like just watching each other and whatnot. So I'm like,
harkening back to one talking about what's the most useless hour of his day. It's the day that he voluntarily chooses to do whatever he wants to do.
Correct.
It's the most useless.
Yes.
My God.
So yeah, but for me, I was like, oh yeah, the dub version just seems it's easier, and I've done it with everything like Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, really?
So did you watch Dragon Ball Z in Japanese?
So I mean, when I was a kid, obviously you don't get a choice when it's on Cheese TV and things like that. You just have to accept what you get. I think up to a point when my mid-teenish, when I was watching stuff in dub, I think it was actually Naruto, where I switched over midway through and just went, yeah, I prefer this. I prefer hearing their voicing. It's
oh man, especially anime. I hate sub-anime. Holy moly! When I actually hear like the normal
like
voices,
Goku's voice,
I'm like, this just ruined it for me. I go, nah, no way.
But is that just because you've heard?
No, for sure, no. It's just the.
So what you're saying is you hate all Asian people and you hate their voices? Is that what you're saying?
That's definitely not what I said. So Karen seems to have a dislike for Asians, but for me it was the anime specific, the way that they would speak for Dragon Ball, Naruto, a lot of those. I just went, nah, this is not how I would picture them in my mind in terms of the conversations that we're having.
Yeah,
Similar to our maybe the first ever Harry Potter that I watched, like the actual movie, and I was like, yeah, dude, this is not the same as I imagined them in the book.
Yeah.
I think I just had something else in mind, and it wasn't that. But the English version definitely hits for me. So I prefer dubs over subs for sure.
I'm not a fan of dubs. Probably the only thing worse is the soundtracks with laughter on them. So Friends or those sorts of shows where, like, you've heard of those.
No.
So where it's just the canned laughter on.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Yeah.
Have you heard those shows when they take the laughter out? And the character, or like How I Met Your Mother, the characters are sort of like just standing there for 5 seconds, and you just like, it feels weird, man.
Just weird, yeah.
Gross.
I think I did it with Everybody Loves Raymond, I think. But,
there's so I might be slightly wrong in that there was one show called Van Helsing, which I really enjoyed, and this was spoken with English voices.
Okay.
But I think it was designed that way as well.
Okay.
But that's a really good one. I'd suggest checking that out. Van Helsing. Damn it, I spelled Van Helsing wrong. Wrote something weird. And it's got this crazy German guy who's speaking in English but with a very thick German accent. and he's evil, and it's just brilliant, man. Really, really good. So if you stop playing Agario and start watching Van Helsing or Thor or the record of Ragnarok. Thor versus
I don't know what it is about me nowadays more and more, but it just, I don't know, like movies, episodes, it just doesn't, I feel like saying it doesn't interest me takes it too far. But again, yeah, I feel like, as I said, it's like, it just feels useless to me. Like even just watching any and all shows, I'm like, meh, why would I do that? Yeah. Which I feel definitely is on me rather than that being the general consensus, which is why it's a goal of mine to be like, no, actually try and do that a lot more.
Yeah, it's called Helsing Ultimate. Is
Helsing
what it's called.
Ultimate.
Yeah,
okay,
some good stuff there.
There you go.
What else? But you were going to tell me something about Squid Game, weren't you? You had something lined up
about Squid Game.
Yeah, I thought you just finished watching it, didn't you? No?
Well, I finished watching it, so it was all 9 seasons. I think 9 episodes. Sorry.
I was going to say, 9 god, seasons. Man. I didn't realize it was that long.
9 episodes. Although they have set it up obviously for a follow-up season, which is kind of cool. But I like the concept. No, I did like the concept of Squid Game. Again, I skipped through quick 10 seconds because there's a lot of pausing, looking at each other.
I wish I'd skipped through the first 70%
it gets longer. Like it does get longer in terms of like I think it was episode 7 or 8. They're just having a dinner basically, and the dinner goes for like 20 minutes.
Okay,
so it goes for a long time.
Interesting,
but obviously to build up the tension and whatnot. But yeah, a lot of that I'm just like, just skip through. But it got really good. It was a very, very good show. I haven't watched a show like that for a long time, so I was like, yeah,
okay,
very interesting.
Nice. All right, so I was talking about the trip out to Straddy, so North Stradbroke Island, just here off of Brisbane. It's the 3rd time I think I've gone there.
Yep.
It's really nice going back to places you've been before and you can just go around and be like, oh, I remember that memory. I remember that place. I took a photo outside of, I haven't posted anywhere, I'll show it to you now. And I took this photo with my brother outside of, do you remember the place where we got some tasty food? Do you remember what it was called?
You showed me this photo the day you came back.
Did I?
Yes.
All right, well, it's up on the screen now.
Yep.
Stan's Chicken and Beer.
Stan's Chicken and Beer, yeah.
It was fun going to that, so it's like, I'm really looking forward to actually, I'm flying up to Mackay earlier than the rest of the Brisbane crew, and I'm planning on just actually going around Mackay for a bit and be like, oh man, I spent 3 years here. What memories can I recall? What do you recall?
Yep.
What because there's definitely a bunch that are hidden in the memory banks, and that I think I'll be able to drag out just by physically going to the place. So, have you ever had that, going to somewhere and you haven't been in a long time, and it just instantly brings up memories?
Yeah, quite a bit. I think every time I go down to Sydney, that happens. Sometimes,
as in, like, it's bringing up early Juan childhood when you first came to Australia. Yeah, you got it.
No, not particularly. No, not that. Just from just from other years I've gone back to Sydney, like going by the Opera House or going by Story Bridge and going like, oh yeah, sorry, Harbour Bridge, or going to Taronga Zoo. Always kind of reminisce back and be, oh, I remember that other time and whatnot. A couple of times overseas, I guess, like in Universal Studios or places like in LA or San Francisco. I think, been in San Francisco like 4 or 5 times, something like that. So like, just recalling like, oh, I remember taking a photo here with family and then being there like with a car and whatnot. So I can recall that, which is really cool. It is really cool for most instances. So.
Yeah, the other thing that I had was, I don't think there's any time with my family that's really wasted. So when we went there, we had some not so great weather, so a couple of the activities we'd planned just didn't really go ahead. And we didn't really fill in the time with those. We just went to a restaurant, sort of sat down, ate some food, had a drink or something. We'd just sit there for hours of the day. It was a lot of fun, man. It was just really nice spending the time with the family. I think that's one of the things now where I really just try to make every opportunity I get really to spend time with them. I should take it more, and I should, almost to the detriment of other things, like focus less on the podcast, focus less on exercise, because I don't know, man, that time is always nice. So that's another decompression. And also, kangaroos and koalas are just silly animals.
Kangaroos and koalas.
There's a bunch of them out on that island. I saw this, I think I told you about this as well. A koala crosses the road like in the evening, and so I pull over and we're just watching it. and it's like sitting at the base of a tree, and then after about a minute just sitting there, it like jumps up, it like full double length of its body jumps up in height and just latches onto the tree.
Dang.
The most random thing, man. It was just like, what's this?
Didn't realize they moved that quick. What the hell?
Yeah, I think they've got like an explosive spurt. So maybe like they'll be really good at squats.
Yeah.
If, you take your best friend koala to the gym, they'll be
squatting out heaps.
Yeah, but if you're trying to get him to do like a good kilometer row or something,
no good. Just good for squatting. Yeah. They're soft as hell, koalas. Have you felt a couple of them?
Their fur and whatnot.
Yeah. Super soft. They are super soft. They look almost like little toys when you clap close. So for those people who might not have ever seen a koala up close or touched a koala
or held one,
yeah. They're very cute and cuddly. They're not like the drop bear koala going to kill you type deal. So that's it's a myth, folks.
Yeah, but there's plenty of other things I got wrong going. The chlamydia rampant. I don't know if you've ever heard one of their calls. It's like, yeah. They're not a.
There's also some non-cute aspects of them.
yeah, for sure. Lots of conjunctivitis as well. Like they've always got red eyes, and the eucalyptus gives them diarrhea.
Oh, really?
Even though it's like their only food source.
What a stitch up by evolution! God damn.
Yeah, brutal, man. Brutal. So yeah, they're funny creatures though. It's like and like kangaroo. I'll chuck up a video and you can just get close to the kangaroo. Or maybe they're not full kangaroos. Maybe they're wallabies.
Yeah, okay.
And you get up close to them and just like, do something. Hey, do something. Do a thing. And they're just chilling out, like looking at you. I think
they love to normally just chill out. Yeah. They're not. I feel like you can't will them to go and do something.
Speaking of, my dad almost knocked 2 of them out with playing golf. Just 2.
With the golf ball?
Yeah. 2 bad shots by him. Just shanked it, and one of it must have been a couple of inches, couple of centimeters from hitting its head or hitting its body.
Damn.
Another one, just
should have called 4.
Yeah, exactly.
4 for the wallabies.
It gets up and it's like all jacked up, wanting to fight. That would have been funny. The other one was any successes from the goals that you've had over the past 2 years. So we've been doing goal setting for 2 years now. Is there anything that you feel like you're really proud of that you've achieved in these last 2 years? And maybe something that wasn't even part of explicitly your goals. So
definitely the okugake for me. Just the fact that
it just sort of occurred and came up.
Yeah, that wasn't even part of a goal, but it just kind of ended up being subsumed by something else and now has turned into an actual goal to do. I think that for me I was like, that was very, very cool. No. And just came out of left field for sure. Yeah. For me it was definitely the sugar stuff. So I the other day when we're on Stradbroke, I was eating out with the family and whatnot, and we'd eat dinner, and then normally, back in the day, a couple of years ago, I would have been fiending for some dessert. I gotta get some dessert. Where's my sugar?
Gotta get something. Chocolate? So, and I could have done this there. I could have, ordered something extra from the restaurant we're in or whatnot. But no one else in my family was eating dessert, so it's sort of like they're gonna just have to wait around for me to eat it if I did that. And I was just totally cool with being like, that's fine. I won't do it. I'll chill,
cool thing.
A couple of days. Something I slightly worked on, I did have those goals of going, months without sugar and stuff, but it wasn't, explicit. Hey, I need to achieve this. And now it's sort of just, day-to-day life. I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried if I can't get some sugar in the evening or whatnot.
Actually, this is an interesting question. When you go to dinner with family or with friends or in a date, how often would you say you would get a dessert? What would be the ratio?
I mean, with family and friends and whatnot, rarely. It's very, very rare. If I'm on my own, I'll get something.
Gotcha, yeah. So I'm just thinking, I wonder how because it is very rare for us as well to ever get a dessert, but I wonder if that's a normal thing most people do. Get a meal and a dessert most often.
Yeah, I
probably
don't know.
more common than it happens to me, but maybe it isn't.
Yeah, I guess we don't eat out that much, and those people go out and spend 5 hours at a restaurant, sort of thing.
Talk about some useless hours.
Yeah.
The 4th hour of that, I'd be like, yeah, okay, that's it, done. Unless it's a great conversation. If it's a great conversation, cool, totally up for it. But yeah, they can be definitely extremes. It's like, okay, cool. My family are very good at cutting things off and being like, we'll be having food out with people. It might be like really enjoyable, but we all know, like me, dad, mum, my sister, we all can have like this same feeling of like, yep, cool, that's it, done, cut it here, that's it, off we go, home time.
Yeah, no
maybe
need to
I'm more probably extreme than they are. Yeah, we call that like, it's just like, yep, no more time wasting. Let's go. Let's move along.
Yeah, for sure. That's funny. All right, let's do a couple of boostagrams. So these are slightly out of order. Like I mentioned, this is a pre-recording. So we've got a couple here from who else but Peter R. So, and he's talking about our trust episode that we did.
Oh, yeah.
So he said, in your analysis of society and levels of trust, you have the cause and effect backwards. It's not the people who trust more live in better societies. It's that people who live in better societies have greater levels of trust. People will trust their governments more so when Bitcoin adoption removes the temptation of those governments to steal their money through inflation. I actually thought that was a really good point. It is very, very easy to confuse correlation with causation. With just because something is this way, it doesn't mean, just because those two lines on the graph are going in the same direction doesn't mean one causes the other, or maybe it's the opposite way. Yep. This one causes that one. There's no way this data was available, but it'd be interesting to see the levels of GDP per capita and reported levels of trust within the society over a lifespan. So then you could sort of see, if people start trusting more, does that mean their income rises more, or vice versa? Or if you get down to the nitty gritty, are the lines, are they both just going up, but there's no real correlation to them?
Yeah. It also makes me just think now more. I think there is some part of it in terms of the income and GDP that does align to trust, but I do wonder how much of it actually plays a part.
Yeah.
How, if in reality, you might have some correlation, but is there other things that just absolutely blow it out of the water? No, this is the actual thing that would actually move the needle on it.
Maybe it's something more like people live in more concentrated areas, therefore their trust levels have to go up because they're spending more time in close contact with each other. This is just a hypothetical. This is probably not even true, but you could make the argument, it's because the people are living in more concentrated areas. That is what brings more GDP per capita, rather than people becoming more trusting.
Yeah.
People more trusting because they're living close together, etc., etc. So, thank you, Peter. That is a very good point. Yep. People will trust their governments more so when Bitcoin adoption removes the temptation. I'm not sure about that. I'm not.
When the government.
So let's say people start moving more away from fiat and go more towards Bitcoin or another cryptocurrency. Let's just say Bitcoin. Will they start trusting their government more after that? I'd disagree. I'd sort of be thinking you're starting to see through the lie of
I think
not the lie. Yeah,
I think you have more chance to go and look at the truth.
Yeah,
which would make you more distrusting.
Yeah,
I actually think.
I sort of have a feeling this is just me personally speaking, but the more I've learnt about cryptocurrencies, the more I've learnt about other things outside of the government, it hasn't made me more trusting of the government.
Like, it almost makes you think, just like, let's say a practical example, like imagine that you do get to see that your Bitcoin gets uptaken or whatever cryptocurrency gets uptaken by your government. You could go and see exact transactions and you start seeing these wild numbers going everywhere. You don't even know what they are, but you're seeing the transactions. I get this feeling it would make me feel it would be more distrustful. I'd be like, well, what are you doing moving 300 Bitcoins here to this random wallet and to this other place? And what are you spending on? What are you going to do with it? Sometimes that gets hidden behind the veil of red tape and just government and normal, and you don't think about it. Yeah. But now that you have the ability to see it,
yeah, that's true.
Then it becomes in your face, and you go, oh, maybe I'm losing trust because I don't know what you're telling me. Like, give me all the details now. Whereas now we're just blissfully unaware of the stuff that we don't know.
Yeah, there's a lot of blissful ignorance that I know I certainly have, and willful ignorance as well. Where
that's right.
I refuse to learn lots of things about the news that are, maybe they are true, but they're just so depressing. It's like, man, I don't want to know this. Like, this doesn't help me.
Yeah.
The other thing he said, so that was 500 sent using Podfriend. The other one, once again, same amount, same player. There is a huge difference between having access to the source code and not having access, regardless of your personal ability to audit the code. Once again, this is where do Do you know what he was specifically talking about there?
Yeah, me neither. Relate to, but I agree. There's a great difference between having access to the source code and just knowing that it's there. Yep, for sure. Yeah. I mean, that could apply to things like knowing where you can see the actual contract itself and being able to access it as well. That's like massively different for sure.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, well, that's probably what he was referring to when we're talking about that. But the source code, what's the source code of life, Juan?
Source code of life?
Are we in a simulation?
I don't know if I could buy
Is the source code what you were learning in Yuval's book about just fiction?
No,
fiction is the
weird thing is, like, I have this feeling that the play of simulation, and whatever people may say, like, let's say you do think we're in a simulation, we're not in a simulation. I think, why would we be so special to be in a simulation?
Okay.
I almost it makes it feel like, what makes you think that we are that special to be in a simulation? If we were to be a simulation,
I thought the argument there would be that makes us not special because there's so many simulations.
No, I think it separately. I think it is a fool's errand to think that we are a simulation of infinite simulations. I get that point of view. I'd be like, well, if there's infinite simulations, well then, yeah, we're not special. I almost think of if I was some random being that ran infinite simulations and each one of them was like our own universe that ran or whatever. That to me still feels like, well, yes, why are we not special? But I also feel not special that this would ever eventuate as a simulation that anyone would be even willing to like look into or go and check out. Either way, I just think whichever way I think about it, I'm like, yeah, that either way it makes me think like, well, that means we're just like, why we would be special to do that.
Yeah. What if though the actual simulation was like, we are the number one, because there's got to be a number one simulation. What if that's us, though? What if we are special one?
If we are the number one simulation?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, if we were, it would be incredibly low statistical chances that we would be the number one simulation. But I can tell you that in most of those simulations, Mere Mortals would be almost number one podcast. So that is one thing that will hold true in all simulations. Maybe not the fact that we are the number one simulation, but at least that the Mere Mortals will be number one.
Yeah, okay. Adam Curry and No Agenda has for a very long time been claiming the title of the number one podcast in the universe. So
the number one podcast. Yeah. What does he make him think that it is the number one podcast in the universe?
I've yet to listen to all 1,500 episodes, and I'm not going to, by the way, because those are like 4 hours long each of them.
Dang.
I'm not.
What would you say is the number one podcast out right now?
Right now? Oh, that's hard, because I would have said Lex a while ago. Geez, number one right now. I'm going to have to default. I don't have one that's really, really like, yeah, this is knocking it out of the park. I'm sort of in I'd say probably an in-between period of finding like the next one where I'd be like, oh yeah, I'm going to binge on this sort of thing. So I'm going to have to default on that answer.
I think mine would have been like that a couple of weeks ago and been like, oh, I'm not really sure. But I think I've come back again too, because I'm listening to Tim again. But I think Tim's podcast from fucking day dot to even the latest episodes, just the range of people, the honesty, the simplification of information, and the way that he asks questions. You can tell it's not like Lex, the way he asks questions. He's asking questions from a point of view that he knows, but he's trying to also explain himself and explain people. I was like, oh yeah, this is like, to me, that's like the pinnacle of a podcast interaction. It reminds me of simplicity with a lot of knowledge. And I'm like, yeah, dang. Like I re-listened to Tim and Yuval Noah Harari's conversation about Sapiens, and it was just like so enjoyable. I was like, man, this is like ridiculous. Like, I would go back and re-listen again to a couple of those things. So,
yeah, okay.
So I'd say Tim's.
Nice. All right. That's it.
Cool. We'll leave it at that. Peter, again, thank you very much for all the boosts.
Yes, always appreciate it.
And also, he's jumped on the Discord as well, so it's been nice to have a quick conversation. If you want to also have a quick chat, go in and converse. And if you've used Discord before, if you haven't.
Behind the scenes sort of things. I'm posting little clippets from Instagram. I'll post like a funny thing that I saw the other day, usually related to Mere Mortals somehow, or maybe it's like an idea I'm thinking through and I just want to know, hey, does anyone else know about the metaverse, for example? What is that thing? What
kind of like Aldrich did know. So
yeah. So those good recommendation for today. Check out the Discord.
That's right.
a new way of interacting with us.
Exactly. All right, folks, we're going to leave it there for now. Me and Mortalites, I hope you enjoyed today's podcast. Outdoors again in the park. We'll be probably, as you listen to this, in Airlie, having a wonderful time. So we hope as well that you're having a wonderful time anywhere you are in the world. Me and Mortalites, Juan out.
Karen out.
Bye.
Yeah.